Hi guys, welcome to this speed build video in The Sims 4. My name is Irene and today I am building a crater house. This video is a part of the Real to Sim series. The last video in that series was months ago, but it comes basically down to this. In that series I'm recreating real life houses or architectural concepts, like in this case, the best to my ability in The Sims 4. And today this house that looks like a UFO inside this meteor crater. Original design is by Amey Kandalgaonkar. He's an amazing architect and designer, and I actually did a house of him before. That house in a rock, a Real to Sims video, Real to Sims build as well. And the thing he likes to do is combining amazing geological features like that massive rock in that house in the rock build, or this meteor crater. He likes to combine these geological features with architectural design. So yeah, over here as well, this crater with over it a house that could be a UFO. And while he was designing this, he had Elon Musk in the back of his mind. And Elon Musk is that very wealthy guy. I think he's 5th on the list of richest people in the world. He has billions. He's the man behind SpaceX, you know, that launch. He's the man behind Tesla. A lot of other things. He made that Cybertruck, you know, from I think a year ago. I will show you a picture on screen. Yeah, it's really a love or hate thing with a design like this. I love it. It's so different. It's so strange. It has an unbreakable metal layer over it and unbreakable glass. And while he was doing the showcase for this car, you know, on stage, with the car on stage too, he wanted to prove that. So he threw a metal ball to the car and it just flew through the window. So it was very strange. I still think it was maybe a publicity stunt because of that fail, that video went viral, so everybody knows that car now. Yeah, but I love his designs, the normal Tesla cars as well. That Cybertruck though isn't even allowed on European roads because it's unbreakable. So if you have a car crash with that car, it isn't. Car crashes are never safe, of course, but with a car like that, you know. But yes, he makes the most amazing things. He did say some strange things about COVID a couple of months ago on Twitter though, but I didn't really form an opinion about that because I didn't really dive into that. But he's just a very interesting man. He was in the news when he had a newborn child and he wanted to call it, I don't even know how to pronounce it, well, a name with a number in it. Very interesting guy, like I said. And Amey Kandalgaonkar wanted to design a very futuristic and a spacey house for the man. And yeah, when I came across the picture online, I was totally intrigued by the idea. I never built a house inside a crater before, of course. And before I wanted to make my own thing with it, my own design with it. I wanted to see if it was possible in the game to create a house like this and a crater like this. And I thought it would be fun because this design of the original house was so cool. I thought it would be fun to see if I could recreate it. So yeah, in this video you can see how that whole process went and what the end result will be. The designer, let's just call him Amey from now on because the last name is so difficult to pronounce. And to be a little bit blunt, I nailed it 2 times, so I don't want to pronounce it for the 3rd time again. But he wanted to design a house inside a crater because a house like that doesn't need walls. It's already an enclosed area. So he only wanted to place a roof over it. In this build though, I will place a house in. It isn't that big, but it is a very luxurious. But I wanted to do that because I wanted to make this build functional. And of course you can place a bed and a television, everything outside. I did that before. But if you have the season spec and you have the temperature effects enabled on your Sims, temperature, yeah, that's the word, enabled on your Sims, yeah, it doesn't work that fluid for gameplay. So I decided to make a house in it just with walls. But what I could see on the pictures that I had 3 pictures all from the exterior of this house. I really tried to recreate it, yes, perfect and as similar as I could. So yeah, a different thing, and maybe you saw it already, is the roof. The roofs are a little bit different from each other, from the original design and my build. Main reason that roof on the original design is that round roof with a gap in the roof, and that just isn't possible in the game. So I decided to make something different of it. I made my own circle shape. I already talked about that method numerous times. You can see it over here. I used the same methods on the decks everywhere as well. You want to use templates, I use rocks. You want to place blocks, or over here I'm using these stone slabs from Spade, but on the roofs I used a pristine pedestal, that white block that came with Get Famous. You want to place them all next to each other. Here you can see it here. On the line of the template, on the edge of the template that you picked, I wanted to go for a curvy shape, so I picked a round template. But of course you can go for any shape you want. And when you created a shape like that, you want to remove the template, and after that you want to remove the excess deck. And in that way you can create your shapes like this in your builds. Kate Emerald made an amazing tutorial about it if you want to know more in-depth information about it. But I love using that method. Recently in my previous videos, yeah, I used it a lot, but I think it totally changed the look of builds. Because of course we're very limited when it comes down to circle shapes or round shapes, curved shapes in the game. And with a method like this you can realize these shapes. Sometimes you can see, yeah, you just saw it there, that upper curve there, you can see very small parts of the deck just sticking out. And of course you have to make your own solutions for problems like that. Over here I will place in plants later on, so you cannot see it anymore. So sometimes you have these small gaps, you can use bigger objects, for example, to create these shapes. But it's a very easy method. It is a very time consuming though. In the very beginning of this video, I think the first 2 minutes, I created that crater, as you can see right here, and it was so much fun to do because it was a quite quick process, but with immediate results. The thing you want to do, of course, you have to use the landscaping tool for it. We're on a totally different matter right now. I'm placing in the plants right now, but I still wanted to explain you a bit about how I created that crater. You want to use your landscaping tool. You have different sizes of circles that you can use when you're in the menu. Use the biggest circle, raise the ground up to that circle, in that circle shape. And then pick a smaller circle and lower the ground in the middle of the bigger circle down again. And then you can flatten out the terrain, and of course you have to fiddle around with it a little bit, but in that way you can make these craters. An important thing to have in the back of your mind though, when you raise ground up, you have steep hills, the color of the ground changes. You can see the color of the dirt, if you will. It's that yeah, you can see it over here as well. You have that softer sand color and that more dirt, that it's a little bit darker color. And I'm sorry. And you have that in every single world, and it has a different color in every single world. I'm building this house in Oasis Springs, the desert world that came with the base game on a 50 by 50 lot. And this world comes with this color, and you cannot change that color. You can paint the grounds all around it, but when you raise up grounds very steep or high, you cannot change the color anymore. So like I said over here, it's this color, and for the look I wanted to go for, that look that I could see on the pictures that I had, that blend between desert and Martian. This was perfect, of course. It's a little bit sad that we couldn't paint that color though, because I think I could make this crater look more perfect if I could change that color up though. But it was the perfect color for, it was the best fitting color for this build. But I tried to create this crater on different lots as well, in different worlds. I went for Brindleton Bay, for example. That world that came with the cats and dogs pack. And over there, the third color is black. So it looks totally different. And it could be very cool if you want to make, you have the 64 by 64 lot over there. And if you want to make several craters with a totally apocalyptic thing going on, for example, these black colors are amazing, but for the look I wanted to go right now, this was the perfect color. As you could see a couple of seconds ago, I used the tool mod a couple of times in this build, but only on the landscaping and not on the design. I used it on the rocks and on the plants, because when you raise ground up and when you want to place plants in, they stick in the air, so it looks very strange. So I raised it down again, or I lowered it down again with the tool mod here and there. Yeah, you can see it happening over here as well. I wanted to give these rocks outside the crater a little bit more, so I used this dried out grass here and there. And for the plants inside the crater, I used the plants that came with the Strangerville pack a lot. They are so cool, and they're not really debug items, but they're not normal items as well, because you have to use the cheats bb.show hidden objects and bb.show live edit objects to unlock them. But after that, you can just, after you typed in these cheats, you can just find these cacti, and they just look so cool and so fine made. You can just find them in your normal build and buy menu amongst the bushes section. And yeah, I use them a lot in the, on the exterior, of course. These different cacti, yeah, they're so cool. Now we're into the interior, and like I said, I had a lot of pictures of the exterior. I had 3, not a lot. I have 3 pictures of the exterior, but I didn't have any pictures of the interior. So I just went with my own taste, what I like. I went for a white with a light brown color scheme. And I wanted to make it very modern with a lot of round shapes. This house isn't that big. In this area I will place in the kitchen and the living room, and the bedroom and the bathroom will be underground. Of course, I will put this build up on the gallery, so you can download it, you can put it in your own game. I did have some issues with the gallery, but my last build just showed up fine, so I think everything will be okay. I'm totally sure this one will show up there. And if you want to have more space in this house, if you want to live here with your family, for example, with 4 or 5 Sims, you can go in the ground. Of course, that bedroom and the bathroom is already underground, and you can expand as far as you want. This is a 50 by 50 lot, so you can make it as big as you want, of course. Yeah, and in this interior, there were a lot of white tones. I thought with the look, with that round shape on the exterior, and yeah, I just thought it fitted the best for this entire build. I talked about that in my previous video. I just purchased the bowling stuff pack. I didn't have that bowling stuff pack yet, so stupid. And that vintage stuff pack, well, I bought them. And now I have everything except for that my first pet stuff pack. Yes, I said it correct. In my previous video, I said my first stuffed pet. Ow. I don't have that one, but now I have every single pack. My collection is finally complete. But I just bought that bowling stuff pack, and always when I buy new packs, or when there are new packs, I want to use items from that new pack. So the wall paneling you can see not behind the kitchen, but that other wall paneling is from that bowling pack. And the lights, the hanging lights, you can see them on above the kitchen. Yeah, above the kitchen I used hanging lights that came with Tiny Living as well. But I used, you can see them on the right, some lights from the bowling stuff pack too. Over here is the living area. The thing that I wanted to do in this house, because I just had one room, and below, yeah, on the ground, that bedroom and that bathroom, but over here I had just one room. I didn't want to make separate rooms, but I still wanted to make separate areas. So I used a couple of half walls here and there to create these different areas. So it's open living, but you still have your own private space here and there. I wanted to go for that look. But yes, the bedroom and the bathroom aren't that big, so we're almost at the end of this video. I'm so curious what you thought about it. Do you think I managed to recreate something that looked like the pictures that I had? I had so much fun with this one, and I already said while I was explaining about the different dirt colors in the world, I already talked about, said that one sentence about that post-apocalyptic world with different craters with different houses in it. I really want to do something like that in the future, because I really loved building this in a totally different way without that much walls here and there. So yeah, let me know what you think about that, and if you have a request for me to build, please let me know as well. I love reading your requests. I got an amazing request a week ago or something about a house inside a bridge. That would be so cool to do. So if you have requests, please let me know. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. You would make me super happy. I try to do a lot of different things with my builds. I love the variety in the game. So if you want to keep yourself inspired for your own builds, or if you just love to watch speed build videos, I think you are in the right place. Well, over here, the finishing touches in the bathroom. Of course, in the end, you can see the house tour of this build. My next video will be next Tuesday. I already started working on it, and I cannot wait to show you guys what I have in store for you next. If you're watching this on the day when I upload this on the Friday, I hope you will have an amazing weekend. And otherwise, I hope you will have an amazing day. Of course, we're in the house tour. Enjoy, have a good day, goodbye!